Let's get into it. All right. First off, how about these guys? What an honor to be on stage with this incredible collection of musicians. I'll tell you more about them as we go along, but for the moment, let's keep the music rolling. Let me tell you that last one. That last one's called "There's No Place Like Home," and I realize that's a big dad joke. Makes more sense when you know who wrote it. That was written by one of my professors from back in my college days, named George Garzone. He was actually the guy who sold me this horn, and he lives in Boston. There's no place like home. There you go. lots of Wayne Shorter in it, but you get that little weird thing at the end. That's trademark Garzone. So tonight is a celebration of the sound of the two tenor saxophones, but even more importantly, it's got a lot to do with the shared history that this gentleman standing next to me and I have. We go back a long ways, and I can't tell you how elated I am to be able to share the stage with Mr. Dave Schmidt. Yeah. Long been a hero, idol, mentor, and dear friend of mine, and I'm just blown away to be able to do this, so you guys can share my joy with me tonight. We're going to follow up with a tune that Dave and I both happen to love by the immortal saxophonist Wayne Shorter. This is Fee Fi Fo Fum.
Thank you so much for being here. It's such a thrill. Yeah, give yourself a round of applause. So as Adam said, this has been a long time in the making, and we didn't even realize it. We've talked about doing a nice gig like this for a long time. We're talking decades. And interestingly, this particular gig was originally just Adam, and a while back he goes, hey, would you like to join me on this? And we'll do like a twin tenors thing. And I don't know if you want me to steal the twin tenors story, but go for it, please. Well, anyway, way back when he was a student of mine, we both loved the Twin Tenors album with Bob Mintzer and Michael Brecker. And it's really hard to find now, but yeah. And, you know, we used to just geek out on it. And so part of the tunes, or some of the selections that we chose tonight, we modeled it after of that, and actually a couple of the cuts that were actually on that album. So the inspiration's there. There's all kinds of historic duos of tenors throughout the jazz history, and we'll be picking little tidbits from those pairs as well. But this next tune is it's a standard, and it's typically played stupid fast. We're not going to play it stupid fast, right? It's close. Yeah, close. Yeah. Yeah, right. Anyway, this is. Oh, did you give it away? Yeah, right over there. Everybody, buy this man a beverage if you want. Yeah, we're gonna cook it up right here and play one of the jazz standards that's supposed to separate the whatever from the whatever. But trying to be. This is Cherokee. Enjoy.
All right, so we need the relief pitcher now. All right, anyway. Cherokee, of course, immortal classic, and I'm going to follow it up with something we're going to take the time to do in both sets with another legendary composer, this one by Duke Ellington, but we'll get back to that in just a moment. Duke Ellington fan in the audience. Hopefully there's many, many, many more too. So we're going to take a little bit of time during each of the sets to feature different combinations of the group too. And this is my moment to bring you guys to one of my favorite ballads of all time. This ballad has a unique history too. Everything I picked tonight for the most part had a little bit of an extra meaning to it. This piece is called In a Sentimental Mood, which is one of the legendary ballads of all time, one of Duke's greatest compositions. But it's also the very first ballad I ever learned when I was studying under Dave. And we spent a great deal of time trying to get me not to just play it really square. So we're gonna figure out if I've accomplished it. Dave will give me the report card afterwards. I hope you guys all enjoy In a Sentimental Mood. Favorite parts about jazz. No idea what I was going to do. That was fun. All right. Ooh, are we going to do this one? You want to introduce this one?
No.
I'll introduce this one. Dave mentioned a record. Two T's, I'm sorry, Twin Tenors. Just check the marquee if you need the spelling. Twin Tenors is a Bob Minster record. Good luck finding it. It's extremely rare now. Back then it was rare, but I found it in a used bin at Zia Records, if you can remember when that happened. It's mostly Bob Minster celebrating the saxophone throughout, but there's a few moments on the album when he brings on this giant of the fusion era, Michael Brecker, and they do a duet. And he wrote this very peculiar thing. It's a blues, I swear. But Dave and I are going to be kind of making these guys' jobs a lot harder throughout this. We're not in the same meter as the rest of the band for a while. So have fun unraveling that, and I'm not going to go any deeper for the benefit of avoiding boredom, and this is not a theory class. This song is called Two T's for obvious reasons. Yeah. 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 Thank you. We are bringing you maximum notes tonight. Every penny you spent tonight is going to a good cause. Before I mention this last song for this set, I think that's where we're at right now. Yeah, the last song for the set. I got to take a moment to introduce the incredible trio that's backing the two of us up tonight. Mr. Dave Henning on the piano. Back on the bass, just the easiest guy in the world to play with. It never wavers under any circumstances, even when we're all rushing together. He's the one who's keeping us honest. This is Mr. Ben Hedquist, actually Dr. Ben Hedquist on bass. I almost demoted. I demoted him. Sorry about that. You worked hard for that. Mr. Ryan Anthony on the drums and cymbals. Yeah. Occasional cymbals, most of them. This duo, these guys, I get the incredible pleasure to play with them in Running from Bears and Union 32 and countless other projects. They're the first people I call for everything. Sometimes they say no. That always breaks my heart. But this trio is just an absolute joy to play with. Can we give them collectively a huge round of applause? All right. To close out the first set, we're doing a tune that I haven't been able to bring and torture a group with in quite a while. So this is fun. This piece is the opening cut, or maybe it's somewhere in the middle of the record, on this fairly obscure Japanese live record of a band called Steps Ahead. Now, if you know your history, you'll know that that's yet another Michael Brecker song. So I'm kind of hitting you with the deep cuts tonight. This is a Don Grolnick composition, one of the greatest composers in my influence and legacy. A beautiful pianist, wonderful, wonderful composer, though, and just left an amazing legacy of tunes. This tune is called Faulty Tenors. Please introduce your partner. Oh, yeah, I can do that. I can do that. So the gentleman standing to my left, you're right, yeah. How far do we go back? 96, I think? 1996 is when I met this guy. And when I met this guy, I had hair that came down to about here. I swear, there are a few pictures that exist. Purple. It might not have been purple then. I forget whether it was purple then, but it was. At Doc Martens, up to my knees, the red ones. They were maroon. That was popular back then. Pantera t-shirt. And I said, I want to play jazz saxophone. He actually took me seriously. But that's why we're here tonight. And so this is Mr. Dave Schmidt on the tenor saxophone.
And on saxophone, Adam Roberts. All right, let's play a lot of notes.
Faulty tenors, Dave Henning, Ben Hedquist, Ryan Anthony, and Mr. Dave Schmidt. I am Adam Roberts. We're gonna catch our breath, do a little recovery, and then come back with twice as much energy as we just played with for the second set. We'll see you shortly. Thank you so much. You ready for more? We got lots more. And we promise this evening we will reach more notes per density. Anyways, so the next one we're going to start off with is a personal favorite of mine. It's a Pat Metheny composition that was resurrected for a very important album from the 90s. That record was called Tales from the Hudson. It was I'm going to argue, the best Michael Brecker record of that era, probably of his career, in my personal opinion. If you're not familiar with his work, that's the one you should go get. Go get Tales from the Hudson. Yeah, because a lot of it kind of sounds like that. This is, again, though, a Pat Metheny composition. It's called Song for Bilbao. Because I'm not from Spain, I have no idea if I pronounced that correct. Was it at least close? No, he doesn't know either. Okay, he's been to Spain, so that's my excuse. Quite have enough light. These eyes don't work that well. So we blow and then we go with the bridge on cue? Yeah, so head in, so head out, blow on A, Q, D. All right, good? We have a full chorus or rhythm section up front, and we come in on the head on the second chorus. What? You okay, Dave? No. Who's going first? You got it? Okay.
All right. So Adam asked me to do a trio tune. And a tune I like to play is Thelonious Monk's Round Midnight. But yeah, no, sure. But, for a number of reasons. I love the tune. And it was my dad was a big jazz fan. He didn't play an instrument, but there's about 3 or 4 holy grail tunes of his, and this is absolutely one. And the movie, if you've ever seen the movie Round Midnight, was his favorite movie. So I like to play the song, but truthfully, I always feel like a little bit of a fraud because the chords that we have all learned are not really right. So we all use these books, and some tunes are pretty accurate, some tunes not so accurate. So this is one, and it's like I'm at Ravenscroft, and like Rob Moore's working here, and Russ Schmidt works here, and it's like I'm not gonna pull one over on those guys. So last night, I'm working through the gauntlet of tunes that Adam has provided us, and I took a little break and got on the old Facebook, and my friend Dave Bacon, who's a great educator, trumpet player in the area, he posted the changes for Round Midnight, and the post said Dizzy Gillespie's changes, and I was like, oh my God, it's like comes from above, and I was like, so I started, and it's on the internet, so they're right? So I started playing, and it was like, oh, hey, yeah, that's really good. But then as I got further, I was like, no, that can't be right. Even Dizzy wouldn't. There's no way. So then I get on and I'm like, listen. So I just went back to the recording. I went back to Thelonious Monk, 1951, and I started listening and I'm transcribing it and I got it pretty much done. And I'm going back. I mean, you're like cursoring over and listening to the same 10 seconds 1,000 times. And eventually, the Google was like, hey, bro, I think you need a little help. So they suggested a bunch of tutorials on how to learn the chords from Round Midnight. So I'm going through and I'm like, nah, that one's not really the Monk changes. I mean, it was definitely the recording the guy had. And then I found one and the guy was like, I got these directly from Jimmy Heath. And so his were like legit, but they're not the Monk changes. They're the Miles Davis changes. And so they're pretty cool. So anyway, what you're about to get is a little bit of mostly Thelonious Monk changes, a little bit of Miles changes, some random guitarist, I don't know who it was on the recording, and then just a few executive decisions that I made. But anyway, these guys, we're gonna do Round Midnight. From South Bend, Indiana, Ryan Anthony. From the frozen lakes of Stevens Point, Wisconsin, Ben Hedquist.
Dave Henning on the piano. What's next?
What's our next tune? Let's see. Oh, God. It's that one. The Coltrane. Oh, got some Coltrane. Did you get your rest in, Dave? I did. All right.
So in the first set, I said that we're about to do a tune that's considered to be one of the most difficult tunes in the jazz repertoire. Well, I wasn't exactly correct because the next tune is definitely considered to be one of the most difficult tunes, if not the most difficult tunes. But anyway, this is once again on the Twin Tenors album with Michael Brecker and Bob Mintzer, inspired this duo in putting together this set. This is the infamous tune by Mr. John Coltrane called Giant Steps.
Yeah, you clap now. You clap now.
That's my note.
Well, where do you want it, Dave? I can go with that. I can go with that. All right. See you on the other side. somewhere, but I'm going to avoid it. I have a dad already. They don't want to revoke my card. Okay, let's see. Okay, all right. And now for something completely different. Any Monty Python fans? This has nothing to do with Monty Python. Other than this is something completely different. So unlike the last one, which is really in the pantheon of like the hardest jazz songs ever written, you can see the stress on our faces, have aged 3 years since 3 minutes ago. This next one is kind of unusual, haunting composition. I say haunting, but haunting maybe is not quite right. It's very refined in a abstract art kind of sense of the word. A very unusual piece of music composed by Bill Evans. This was. It seems to be part of a series of pieces he wrote that had some unusual qualities to it. This was on an album called Loose Blues, and it featured an amazing tenor player by the name of Zoot Sims. He was a giant of the swing era through the kind of the hard bop period, and had beautiful, beautiful lines, beautiful sound. I hope you guys enjoy this very unusual composition called Loose Blues. Loose Blues. Probably what sound like Zoot pronounced blues. Loose.
Are you going to take a solo? Yeah. And I will. They've had enough of me.
They haven't had enough saxophone yet, though. They came to a show called Twin Tenors. They knew what they were signing up for. All right. How about the trio? Dave Henning, Dr. Ben Hedquist on the bass, Ryan Anthony on the drums and cymbals, and pedals and sticks. The next one is from a Arizona native, originally. He didn't stay here very long, though. It's probably because he lived in Nogales. Oh, sorry. But he promptly moved to LA and proceeded to play with basically every important member of the jazz community from like the early 40s up through the 70s. Also, one of the honoriest guys in all of jazz history. This piece has very little to do with his personality, but musically fits him very well. This is Boogie Stop Shuffle. There's not much to it. I can just read off Dave's. I'll just read off Dave's. Did I just delete the whole set list? Comedy of errors suddenly strikes. Very graceful part of the set. There's a little slapstick in every show. You know?
we're getting close here. We got a few more for you. In the first set, Adam had a chance to do a nice little ballad, and now it's my turn. So just before we do this, I want to say a couple things. And from an educator's standpoint, there's no greater compliment than to get to a point where you're playing together and appreciating each other. And I just sit back there and watch, and literally my face hurts because I'm smiling so much. It's just amazing. How about it? Adam Roberts. Then I'm not sure how many people realize this, but I just finished a 31-year career at Glendale Community College. And I'm having a great time. Not that I didn't enjoy my 31 years at the college, but it's kind of nice just to chill out and play gigs. And my wife says, how did you ever do your job before? Because I'm so busy. And now I'm so busy right now. I'm running around doing things, but it's great, and I really appreciate it. And that being said, I want to say thank you so much for so much support. I see a lot of familiar faces out there, a lot of students, and obviously we can't have a concert unless there's an audience, and I really, really want to thank you. Thank you. Give yourself a round of applause for that as well. Thank you. So the next little thing I want to mention is that after my 31 years of literally blood, sweat, and tears, the stick had to be handed off, and I couldn't be more thankful and appreciative to say that the stick was handed off to Dr. Ben Hedquist. And this is the first time we've had a chance to play together on a gig like this, and I've been looking forward to it for a long time, and what a great coming all together for all of us, Adam and Ben, and just finishing my career. Not that it's all about me, but anyway, I couldn't help but to share these things that are on the top of my head. So next thing I want to mention is that this next tune has a special place in my heart, having been recorded by one of my favorite tenor players. Great sound, just plays all the right notes, as my son always tells me when I leave for a gig, play all the right notes. And when he recorded it, he did something that was kind of different, and that was, normally you play the head of the tune, and then you play the solo, and then you come back and you play the head. Well, right out of the gate, he just soloed, and then he didn't play the head until at the very end. It was very kind of like what the heck's he doing? So, but anyway, this is a Johnny Green tune, famously recorded by Coleman Hawkins, and it's called Body and Soul.
So this brings us to our final number of the night. But before I do that, I just want to do a little bit of housekeeping. Can we give a huge round of applause to this amazing venue? I can't tell you what a joy it is to play on this stage. The sound is phenomenal. Huge round of applause for our sound guys. Well, I don't know where they are, but they're around here somewhere. They took such good care of us tonight. Thank you, Aleo and company. Thank you, guys. And then the staff that's running everything from the food to the people taking the tickets to the people handing the bar. Can we give them a huge round of applause? Thank you all so much. Yeah. Huge thanks to Bob Ravenscroft for not only this fine instrument, this fine building, but also the stewardship of the jazz community in Arizona. This is a phenomenal thing, and it's wouldn't be possible without the vision and the philanthropy of Mr. Bob Ravenscroft. So I'm not sure where he is tonight, but a huge round of applause for him as well. And I got one more little thing. So this night has been incredibly meaningful to me for reasons we've talked about at length at this point. Dave Schmidt had an enormous impact. I'm standing here because this guy took a chance on a dude with long hair and a Pantera t-shirt and actually believed me when I said I really wanted to do this and put all this energy behind me. But it's also worth mentioning that tomorrow's his birthday. So can we just take a brief moment and sing happy birthday to Dave Schmidt here. Happy birthday to you. He gave us the present, though, so it was good. Right at the Color Club? Yeah. I'm going to introduce the band and do the nerdy thing. This is one of Dave's heroes who composed this one. One of mine, too, but this tune I know is very special to Dave. This is Friday Night at the Cadillac Club from Bob Berg. We're closing with this one because I kind of set Dave up on this one. I said, shouldn't we play something from Bob? He's like, yeah. And I knew he was going to pick this one, and then he did, and it made me very happy. It's a favorite of both of ours. It's also the very first tune he ever made me memorize, and it's really hard, but it's really fun. Before we start, though, Mr. Dave Henning on the piano. Dr. Ben Hedquist on the bass. Mr. Ryan Anthony on the drums and cymbals and sticks and pedals and brushes. This is Bob Berg's Friday Night at the Cadillac Club. Thank you all for joining us tonight. My name is Adam Roberts. This has been my absolute honor. Thank you all so much for coming out. We'll see you on the next one. Have a lovely evening.